Welcome to today's 3-minute Halacha. In Siman Kuf Tet Vav in the Shulchan Aruch, we begin discussing the middle set of brachot of the Shemona Esrei, the bakashot, the requests we make of God. And Kuf Tet Vav begins with the reason for Atah Chonen. Writes the Mechaber of Yosef Karo that the reason why we start our requests of God with Atah Chonen Le'adam Da'at, you grace us, you grant us wisdom, is because if you don't have that wisdom and understanding, you can't even begin to pray. Once we're granted the wisdom, however, the Mishnah Berurah points out, based on the Gemara, that the very next step that we make is we ask God for the wisdom to do tshuva, hashivenu, help us do tshuva, or as the Mishnah Berurah explains, help us to lower ourselves, to reduce that sense of haughtiness that sometimes we may have that would enable us to sin. Following that, we say, Slach Lanu. We've done tshuva, so now, God, we pray to you that you should forgive us. The Mekor Chaim, which is authored by the Rabbi Yair Bachrach, who also authored the famous halachic work of the Chavot Yair, says that when we say the Slach Lanu, we also have the custom to hit our chest twice during that time, just as we do during Vidui, during the Ashamnu. That too is mentioned by Rabbi Yaakov Emden in his Siddur, the Beit Yaakov. Why? Well, later in the Shulchan Aruch, when we do deal with the question of Vidui, we learn that the idea of beating oneself on the chest is a physical, a tangible statement that we make to God as if we're saying, this heart, this is what caused me to go astray. And therefore, we hit it. However, Rabbi Yaakov Emden also notes that we shouldn't be hitting our heart on days when we don't say Tachanun. Interestingly, that also is brought down by Reb Shlomo Zalman Auerbach, that we only would beat our chests on days when we would say Tachanun. But on days such as Rosh Chodesh, when we don't say Tachanun, we shouldn't be beating our chest. That idea of doing so, of making that distinction, it finds expression in many poskim, and yet there still is a custom by others, which is probably the most common custom, never to differentiate. And whenever we say a regular Shemona Esrei, and we say the paragraph of Slach Lanu, whether it's a day in which we say Tachanun or not, we still will continue to beat our chest twice, using this opportunity to beg God for forgiveness, as if we're saying vidui within these bakashot, within these requests themselves.